In the early 20th century, Chicago had become a city ruled by lawlessness and street wars. From an Italian immigrant family, Alphonse Gabriel Capone rose quickly through this dark atmosphere. The nickname he received in his youth, Scarface, reinforced his ruthless image in the criminal world. Capone was not just a gang leader, he systematically controlled the city's underground life. From speakeasies to brothels, from gambling dens to bootlegging networks, Chicago's streets were no longer just places of crime. They had turned into the heart of Capone's empire, where his own laws prevailed. His presence inspired both fear and a strange kind of admiration. No one dared to openly challenge him.
Prohibition. Crime meets business.
When the U.S. government banned the production and sale of alcohol in the 1920s, this law became Capone's greatest opportunity. He established hundreds of secret breweries and distribution networks, making himself the main supplier of liquor in the city. It is estimated that his annual income reached $60 to $100 million, an unimaginable fortune for that time. Capone had transformed the illegal market into a nationwide economy. Crowds poured into his hidden bars, while rivals were eliminated one after another. This was not mere lawbreaking. It was the creation of an underground industry larger than many legal businesses.
Bloody clashes silenced rivals.
Capone's rise could not have happened without brutal violence. Conflicts with other Chicago gangs were settled through bloodshed. The most notorious case was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre of 1929, when Capone's men gunned down 7 members of rival George Moran's gang. The incident shocked the nation and cemented Capone's reputation as the embodiment of cruelty. His message to rivals was simple: make a deal with me, or you disappear. With this massacre, Capone demonstrated that his empire was secured not only with money, but also with bullets. Chicago's streets became a battlefield, and his dominance was absolute.
Playing with the police.
One of Capone's greatest strengths was his extensive web of corruption. Police officers, judges, and even some politicians were regularly fed from his pocket. Raids on his speakeasies were often tipped off in advance, and witnesses were either intimidated or paid off. As a result, dozens of cases against him collapsed for lack of evidence. But his survival was not based only on money. It was also built on image. He cleverly presented himself as a friend of the people, opening free kitchens and feeding the poor during hard times. This duality made him a paradoxical figure, both a ruthless criminal and, in the public eye, a kind of folk hero.
Criminal masked as hero.
Capone's public persona was a carefully crafted paradox. On one hand, he was responsible for killings and violent rackets. On the other, he opened soup kitchens that served thousands during the Depression. Journalists often portrayed him as a benefactor, and some even described him as a protector of the people. These supposed heroic acts were in fact part of a calculated strategy to win public sympathy while hiding behind a shield of popularity. By manipulating both fear and gratitude, Capone strengthened his hold on the city. His heroism was not genuine bravery, but a manipulative criminal tactic disguised as charity.
Taxes the final blow.
Despite years of bloodshed and endless criminal operations, Capone was not convicted for murder or racketeering. Instead, he was brought down by tax evasion. Federal investigators documented his failure to report vast illegal earnings. In 1931, he was sentenced to 11 years in prison. The irony was stark. America's most violent mob boss was defeated not by bullets, but by a piece of financial paperwork. It was one of the rare moments in history when bureaucracy crushed an empire of crime. For the U.S. government, this was more than justice. It was proof that even the most powerful criminal could not escape the reach of the law.
Alcatraz and an empire's fall.
Capone first served time in Atlanta but was soon transferred to the infamous Alcatraz prison. There, he was no longer a mafia king, just another numbered inmate. The harsh discipline and total isolation stripped him of his influence and power. Meanwhile, the syphilis he had contracted years earlier began to attack his brain, leading to dementia and memory loss. The man who once ruled Chicago with fear now wandered the prison yard confused and broken. His downfall was not only physical but symbolic, a reminder that power built on fear cannot last forever.
The legend's unexpected end.
When Capone was released in 1939, he was already a shadow of his former self. He retired to a villa in Florida, spending his final years battling illness, delusion, and fading memories. Conversations with him revealed a distorted view of his past. He often tried to paint his criminal empire as a noble mission. In 1947, he died of a heart attack. His death was ordinary, but his name had already become legendary. Capone's life turned into an enduring symbol, a mix of myth, cinema, and history, remembered long after his empire was gone.
Lessons from a criminal empire.
Al Capone's life is one of the clearest examples of the paradox between human ambition and the law. He exploited legal loopholes to build an empire, using fear as a weapon and public sympathy as a shield. But in the end, he proved that criminal power is never permanent. It can be destroyed by bullets, or even by something as simple as unpaid taxes. His story is both a crime drama and a social lesson. No empire built on fear and violence can last. For viewers today, the life of Al Capone reminds us that justice may come slowly, but it always arrives. Who is the youngest gold medalist in Olympic history? Marjorie Gestring, Nadia Comaneci, Fu Minxia, Dominique Moceanu. At just 13 years old, Marjorie Gestring won gold in diving at the 1936 Olympics. She remains the youngest Olympic gold medalist in history. Her record still stands officially. Her achievement serves as inspiration for young athletes around the world. Who holds the world record for the 100-meter sprint? Justin Gatlin, Usain Bolt, Carl Lewis, Tyson Gay. In 2009, Usain Bolt ran the 100 meters in 9.58 seconds at the World Championships in Berlin. This world record remains unbroken. He also holds world records in the 200 meters and 4x100 meter relay. Bolt is known as the fastest man alive in athletics. The phrase, "I think, therefore I am," belongs to which philosopher? Aristotle, Socrates, Descartes, Kant. The phrase cogito ergo sum was coined by French philosopher René Descartes. It suggests that existence is proven by the ability to think. Descartes used radical doubt to arrive at this as an undeniable truth. This idea laid the foundation of modern philosophy. Where was the ancient human species known as Homo floresiensis discovered? Ethiopia, Indonesia, Mexico, India. Homo floresiensis, also called the Hobbit, was discovered in 2003 on the Indonesian island of Flores. These humans stood only about 1 meter tall and lived around 50,000 years ago. The discovery revealed an unexpected branch in human evolution. Scientists believe they evolved independently from other hominins. What was the shortest war in history? USA and Panama, France and Germany, Britain and Zanzibar, China and India. In 1896, Britain and Zanzibar fought the shortest war in history, lasting only 38 minutes. The conflict began after Zanzibar installed a sultan not approved by the British. The British Navy quickly bombarded the palace, ending the war swiftly. It remains the shortest recorded war in history. Traces of which ancient civilization were discovered in the Amazon, once thought to be uninhabited? Maya, Amazonian cities, Inca, Olmecs. Scientists have found remains of ancient cities in the Amazon using satellite imagery and archaeological digs. These civilizations built roads, plazas, and irrigation systems. Previously, the dense jungle was considered uninhabitable for large societies. However, new evidence proves complex civilizations once thrived there. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and leave a comment.